most like hats like these and just don't mix them. And my makeup, okay, I'm just gonna try it. Like that. Wake up, get up, start your day. I have a mirror right here. This is perfect. Okay, yeah, that's good. What's up, everybody? It's Candice Pritchard-Harmon, also known as Synastasia, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been gone for a minute, not entirely MIA from the world, just from YouTube itself. I know it's been a while, but I'm sorry, I'm back, and back just in time to celebrate my 23rd birthday! Yeah, so the last time you guys saw me, I was bored. You know, 2019, 2020, we had the COVID-19 global pandemic. That is still a thing. And during that time, I had nothing but time to do videos and play music and paint and crochet and all that good stuff. But you know, now everything's starting to lighten up, and good news for me, I have just returned back to the complicated United States, but you know, I'm glad to be back home. Actually, where I am right now, I am on birthday leave, so I am here in Fort Bliss, where my nephew is stationed. I am actually stationed in Fort Hood, which is 8 hours away. So that's cool and whatever. But yeah, I'm chilling. We are having fun. He just came in here. He got me this cake. That was awesome. He's not here at the moment. He just had to go on staff duty. Gross, you know. No time for familia, am I right? Freaking CQ and shit. But anyway, that's okay, because we're gonna celebrate on our own later. He's not even a video person, so that's cool, that's fine. I'll just, you know, I'll just be here, chilling in his kitchen. But anyway, I have just gotten back home in time for my birthday, which is probably what's gonna happen for the remainder of my military career. I usually go to a new duty station during this time. This has happened twice now. And usually I don't know anybody. Only this time I can actually do something about it. I can actually leave, go be with my family and all that good stuff. I'm calling it a birthday tour because my family is just so scattered at the moment. I've got my nephew here, I got my niece in San Antonio. I'm gonna go hop over there next. Then I'm gonna go back home to Georgia. I'm gonna see my parents, gonna see my family. I'm gonna see the love of my life, my everything. I'm gonna go to Florida, try to pop up there, try to surprise my sister. I don't know if that's gonna work now because I literally just told everybody my plan for going home. And that was stupid. But with that being said, yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be back. A lot has changed for me. And because everything is changing for me, I get to go off with like a clean slate ultimately. With my life, there are a lot of new beginnings for me, some really good endings too. You know, Belgium, you know, sucked. But ultimately and hopefully, now that I'm here in a new duty station back in the States, and now that I'm starting a brand new, you know, upping my career and whatnot, I can actually get some peace of mind, hopefully keep up with my sobriety. We could keep that going. And you know, one thing that I'm really proud of is that, you know, in spite of every obstacle of BS and turdness that I had to go through while I was away from home, you know, I have no shame about anything that I have been through. A bitch never has regrets. A bitch is always, you know, do one thing and you keep on trucking. Very proud of myself. There's nothing to be ashamed about when it comes to mental health and substance abuse. It just means that shit happens and you're going through stuff. But in the end, you get back up, you dry your tears, and you keep on trucking. And so that's what I'm doing. And so, with all that being said, this week is a good week. I kind of, sort of started work this week. I've just been honestly stuck in a dental clinic on the computer trying to get computer access, and it just hasn't happened. But today, it did. I got computer access. I got to look at my emails. I got to deal with the stupid finance people. I'm trying to get some money. My birthday is military payday, okay? Not only that, but I have to wear jeans at work. Like, that's never a thing. Sometimes that uniform, it's a uniform to be proud of, but it's so taxing. So I have to deal with that on top of everything else. But you know what? That's cool, because today is my birthday. I'm all festive and shit. Got this cool ass pin. It says birthday girl. Got this hat, get the cool hat going, and it actually it makes my hair look okay. They got this little I never know what these are called. Wheat sticks, maybe? No. Oh, they just go like that. And then, like I said, I've got this cake, and then after that, when my cousin gets back, we're gonna have some MRE dinners. We're not eating that shit. That's gross. Of course, I've got a couple of things that I would like to talk to you guys about. I am starting with my ambassadors tour. The Ambassadors Tour is a tour that starts with young ambassadors from Model UN. And right now I am an ambassador for foster care movement. As a lot of people who really know me know that I am a former foster child, now adopted. And if anybody understands the flaws of being owned by the state as a foster child, it is moi. But that's okay, because I always promised myself that as soon as I could, I've always been one for change, and so now I can finally make a change for the world. And I know what you're thinking. Oh shit, she's about to do a promotional ad. This is it. Hi there, it's Candice here, and I'm here to give you all the deets about Samaritan's Purse upcoming project, Operation Christmas Child. Operation Christmas Child was created in 1990 by Dave Cook and his wife Gil for children in Romania. Now, each November, thousands of churches, schools, groups, and individual donors prepare and collect shoe boxes filled with toys, school supplies, personal items, and other small gifts for children, not just in Romania, but all around the world. The program uses follow-up evangelism with pamphlets of Bible stories that are given to families that receive the boxes, regardless of their faith. Operation Christmas Child in the United States has over 9,000 year-round volunteers and over 100,000 short-term volunteers. Visit SamaritanPurse.org for more information about how you can help. National Collection Week for Operation Christmas Child begins on November the 15th and ends on November the 22nd. Make your donation today by going to SamaritanPurse.org, clicking on the tab of Operation Christmas Child, and online you can build your own shoebox. This shoebox will possibly be sent to the 50 states and Puerto Rico, and you can change a child's life forever. And there was your ad. Yeah, so Operation Christmas Child National Collection Week starts from November 11th through the 16th. I've been very fortunate as a foster child to have received a few Operation Christmas Child boxes myself and to make some boxes myself. So this year I'm going to be making some more boxes, and this year, because of the pandemic, now it's a really good opportunity for you to be able to build your own shoebox online. I think that's really cool. If you're not much of a postage person, I don't really like sending things through the mail personally, because I don't know how to do anything right. If you're like me, you don't like to personally mail things, I think that with this new addition to Samaritan's Purse Operation Christmas Child project, with building a shoebox online and just having somebody do it for you, I feel like that's awesome. There's no shame in not liking to postage, because I mean it's freaking taxing. But this is going to be an awesome project. I know this is Operation Christmas Child, and Christmas is literally months away, but with Christmas, you really like to start early. They used to have this Christmas in July thing, because you want to make sure that you know, you've got everything on hand. Sometimes I know when you have like 5,000 kids, you want to make sure that everything goes right. And so we want to make sure that these kids get everything they need, regardless of their faith, regardless of what they're going through. You know, every child deserves to have some peace when it comes to their childhood. And I barely got that, so I want to make sure that there are children that are getting the same thing. So yeah, so Operation Christmas Child, like I said, National Collection Week is on November 11th to the 16th. You can build your own box online. Go to SamaritanPurse.org. You can also get some really good information on some other projects and on Samaritan's Purse itself. I will also be collecting some shoe boxes. I will be going on my social media, Facebook, Instagram at Candy_Pritchard-Harmon, and I will be advertising some stuff when it comes to Operation Christmas Child and just making sure that everybody gets the word out. So be sure to share. Also, don't forget, there is a link in the description below. So if you want to take a look at that, go ahead and click on that link. That link will take you directly to the Operation Christmas Child site for Samaritan's Purse. Or you could just, you know, Google the shit. So now that we begin with the festivities, I had a very special activity that I had some very, very, very close and special people to me. I had them do for me. 10 quotes. 10 famously, graciously delivered quotes, original quotes. Well, some of them aren't original, but you know, we're not copywriting shit here. But anyway, yeah, 10 famously said quotes by Candice herself. You know, we're celebrating my life, and one good thing about my life is that I'm funny as fuck. And I say what I feel, and I feel what I say, and I just say whatever. And does that bite me in the ass? You know, yeah, sometimes it does, sure. But, I mean, come on, it's me. So yeah, so I have this list of these quotes that my friend sent me. And like I said, these are like really, really close friends, and I don't even have like close friends like that. So they're very rare, but these friends have known me since childhood. And I've been able to reunite with them and catch up with them. And I'm like, hey, I want you to come up with a list for my birthday of things that I have said that have either made you raise an eyebrow, laugh your ass off, or just die of laughter. So here they go. So I haven't seen these quotes yet. I had someone from work write them down for me. And that was pretty peachy because they just couldn't handle it. It was so freaking funny. So I'm kind of excited to see what these quotes are. But it looks like the first one is, you just have to believe. Clap your hands if you believe. Okay, yes. So I stole that from a cartoon show. The cartoon show was on Channel Frederator. It was one of my favorite shows in like my later years of high school. I would watch Channel Frederator, and one of the shows I would watch was called Bravest, Warriors. And my favorite character on that show, his name is Catbug. He is a cat and a ladybug put in together, so he's a hybrid. And so he's like a cat ladybug. And he is voiced by Sam Lavanino, the most adorable kid ever. He's probably way much older now. During that time, he was like 11 going on 12. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have that adorable baby voice anymore, and puberty hit him like a bitch. But he voiced this character, Catbug, and he was so cute. And he just had this baby voice, and he became my spirit animal because I'm such a baby. And so this was one of his quotes. He's like, you just have to believe. Clap your hands if you believe. And I'm just like, I believe, I do, kind of thing. So yeah, so I've always said that ever since I heard it. It's actually something pretty positive to go by, you know? Probably something that everybody should do. It's literally my mantra. You know, when I get pissed off and people piss me off and I want to shank people in the throat at work, I'm just like, clap your hands. So yeah, so that quote, really good. All right, the second quote is, oh, tartar sauce, I don't even like tartar sauce. That, I wish no one remembered that because that is a really stupid quote. I said that in middle school. I stopped saying that after middle school. I don't say that anymore. It was really stupid. I don't know why I said it like that all the time. But in middle school, if I mess something up, I'll be like, oh, tartar sauce. I don't even like tartar sauce. And it was just like, everybody would get a kick out of that. I don't see like why that was so funny to them because I was dead ass serious. I'd be like, oh, tartar sauce. I don't even like tartar sauce kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know why that would be top 2 in the quotes. Say, I wouldn't even put that shit on this list, to be honest. That's not one of my favorite quotes. And I hate it when people remind me of it. They're like, remember when you used to think about the tartar sauce? I'm like, don't talk about that. Number 3 is probably something that I shouldn't be saying, and I will not deny that I still say this to this day. So number 3 says, you're nothing except a turd. Like I said, people who know me know that one of the biggest insults that I call people is turd. This is usually a comeback. I was never really good at defending myself when it came to words, but eventually I kind of like got into this zone of, you know what, I'm gonna come back at you with the energy that you're giving me, except mine is gonna be comical, but it's still gonna be in a comical way of telling you that, hey, fuck off. So whenever I would deal with situations like that, I was like, you are nothing except a turd, you know? So, probably not the best thing to say, but you know, if you deserve it, you deserve it. Number 4, don't be an ass. Yeah, so number 4 is probably one of those things. I feel like everybody says that at some point. I don't really feel like that's a Candice quote. It's just something that I say, you know, if you're being an ass, you're being an ass. I'm just like, don't be an ass. But I mean, it's fair to say that I do say it enough for it to look like a quote, but it's not, I mean, in my opinion, I don't see it as a quote. My friends obviously didn't listen to the project that I gave them, but you know what, that's okay. I won't be an ass. Number 5 is Number 5 is probably something that I also should have never said. I don't say it anymore, but it was something that I said a lot as a joke. This is, my sister told me recently that I have very dark humor, and it's true. Like I said, I say what I feel and I feel what I say. A lot of times it's meant to be funny, but yeah, So number 5 says, I'm only bisexual because it bothers my parents. I used to say that a lot, because in middle school, it really aggravated me because, you know, some of my classmates would assume that I was either lesbian or bisexual, and at that point I mean I wasn't. I completely had this like mindset of being heterosexual, you know, just strictly boys and whatnot, and it kind of hurt my feelings and aggravated the fuck out of me when people assumed that, you know, I was gay. And like, how you gonna tell me what I am and I don't even know what I am, you know, besides being straight. But eventually, sophomore, junior, senior year, I started, you know, experimenting more, you know, coming out more, and you know, today, I can definitely say that I've experimented and experienced a lot, you know. at one point, you know, during college, I was in a polyamorous relationship, so I had a boyfriend and a girlfriend at the same time, and we were all, you know, like that. A recent situation like that as well. Throughout the years, where I have even had, you know, gender binary relationships with people, and I've been in a relationship with girls, and I've been in a relationship with guys, and everything in between. And today I can say that I hold no labels for myself, but I'm mostly heterosexual. And, you know, I don't, you know, because I don't know what I am, because I've done everything. So I'm kind of just like, I'm just here. You know, so, but the quote, the story behind I'm only bisexual because it bothers my parents, it's just the simple fact that, you know, my father is a pastor and my mother is a very hard, devout Christian. And I never entirely came out to my parents, but they just always assumed, you know, around, you know, high school time, especially since my dad caught me kissing a girl once. Not my fault, by the way. But anyway, yeah, and so my parents low-key, like, knew that something was up, because my parents never really trusted me during my teenage years, which is entirely fair and reasonable. So yeah, so like when people will be like, Candice, what are you? I'm like, I'm bisexual because it bothers my parents. I'm only bisexual because it bothers my parents, you know, so not something that I say anymore. I'm a little bit more mature than that now. All that comical pettiness is behind me at that point. But that's a good quote that you brought up, because I would have never even thought of that. But I say a lot of things that I don't remember, so, you know, there's that. Number 6. Yeah. This is something that I still say, and I should not say, because it's not very nice. Of course, I don't care if I'm nice or not, but this is kind of, yeah, this is, no, number 6 quote is, you guys are lifeless losers. If you're gonna be losers, at least be lively about it. Yeah, just another, you know, comeback kind of thing. I used to say this to like people that I would hang out with in school, because they were losers in their own kind of like special little way. And I consider myself a loser too. If you hear me talk sometimes, and if I, you know, screw up something, I'm like, oh, I'm such a loser, you know. So I don't give insults without applying them to myself as well. You know, if I call you a loser, you bet your ass I'm gonna call myself a loser in the next 15 minutes. So yeah, so this is another quote that I don't say anymore. I mean, I kind of do say it still, but more of like in my head kind of thing. I mean, I'm in the military now. You have to be fucking careful about what you say, because there are a whole bunch of Nancy Nans and Jane Jans, and, you know, people are like, ow, my feelings, a whole bunch of BS. So yeah, so there's that one. So that one is really good too. That one's I can't believe you say these things. This quote I don't remember saying at all. I mean, I believe I said it. This quote is, I will never go camping voluntarily. I saw The Evil Dead. The last thing I want is to be raped by a tree. I did watch The Evil, and I'm saying, I probably did say this because I have watched The Evil Dead. I did watch The Evil Dead. I watched The Evil Dead one time at a sleepover party, and I'm telling you, like, that movie to this day, I watched it once, I won't watch it again. It's kind of like roller coasters with me. If I ride one type of roller coaster, I will never ride that roller coaster again. There's only one roller coaster that I have ridden more than once, and that is the Georgia Cyclone at Six Flags over Georgia. But yeah, so this movie was crazy. And I'm not a fan of camping either. I mean, being in the military, our idea of camping is FTX, and I really didn't fuck with that either, but you know, you do what you do, you get paid for it, you know? So this quote is actually really good. Yeah, because it is totally me. There was like a rape scene in the movie where the lady gets raped by a tree. I'm just like, I don't. I haven't liked trees ever since. I'm not really a tree person, and I used to climb trees all the time. But this, no. After I watched that movie, I was like, I don't like trees. I'm bleh. So yeah. Rapist tree. Number 8, don't touch me. Yes, don't. I don't know how to emphasize that. I have never, do not, and will never like to be touched. I don't like people to touch me. I barely fuck with hugs. I let people hug me sometimes if it concedes with making them feel better about themselves. But even in that case, like, being hugged is agonizing. It's nothing personal against anybody besides the people who have chosen to hurt me. But it's just, I've had a lot of difficult trauma. I've had bad post-traumatic experiences. I've had traumatic experiences with sexual assault, with rape, all of that stuff. So when you go through something like that, it triggers something inside of you, and it breaks you almost. And there are just some things that you don't like. And a lot of these people, like me, don't like to be touched. And I used to not be able to tell people not to touch me because I just didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Oh, look, I am fucking compassionate. I cared about people's feelings, so I didn't want to tell them, like, you know, yo, don't touch me. But now it's more of a thing where I have become more verbal. So I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't like to be touched, so don't touch me, kind of thing. If you do it again, don't touch me. If you do it a third time, it's gonna turn into don't touch me, but with like fucking after the word don't and before the word touch. You get it? So don't fucking touch me. And I feel like that is very relevant and has been relevant in the past couple of years. We've got the Me Too movement. If you don't want to be touched, females or males even, you know, anybody, honestly, if you don't want to be touched, make that known. And everybody on the other side who are all touchy, feely, stop putting your hands on people who don't want to be touched. Keep your hands to your damn self. Stop touching people. And most of all, don't touch me. Number 9 should probably be in my top 3. I ain't going to jail for nobody, and that will always and forever be true. If it's one thing I always couldn't stand, it's always accusations that you can't prove. You know what I'm saying? In college, I dealt with a situation where someone that I knew and, you know, might have been staying with accused me of, first of all, drinking their orange juice and eating I think it was like a Snickers or some type of fucking candy with peanuts in it. And anybody who really knows me knows that I am allergic to citrus and peanuts. So why the fuck would I eat Snickers or whatever the hell it was, or orange juice when I can't have either of those things? I don't appreciate it when people accuse me of stuff like, you know, stealing, or accuse me of doing something, you know, that I never did, because I have no reason to steal. I have no reason to do anything unless I did do it. And if I did do it, trust me, you know, and trust me, I would tell you. So my biggest quote has always been, I ain't going to jail for not nobody, because, you know, I know myself well enough, and I'm not about to argue with your ass either. So yeah, so, you know, there's stuff like that that I have dealt with over the past couple of years where I feel like people have really tried my life, and I'm like, you can try me if you want to, but I ain't going to jail for you. I ain't going to jail for nobody, you know. So that's a good quote too, because I do say that a lot. And we are off to the last one, number 10, and this one is a good one. So it started off with Bravest Warriors Catbug. It's ending with Bravest Warriors Catbug. Catbug also has this special little quote in this short episode. He was playing with like this pencil and this stick, and they were both puppets. And he was like, "I love you, Rebecca. I love you." And I'm like, oh, that's so freaking cute. I mean, look at it.
Becca, I love you. I love you too. I love you.
I mean, it's cute. It's crazy cute, right? So now I have this thing where I'm always like, I love you. I love you. And I think one person I was texting one time, I was like, I love you. And they were like, I love you too. And I'm like, no, dude, seriously. So yeah, I think that's number 10. That's a good quote to end off with, because, you know, in all seriousness, I love everybody in my own, you know, special way. It may not look like it sometimes. I know sometimes I go off the grid and it might not feel like I don't love you, but honestly, most of the time, the majority of the time, that's me trying to concentrate on myself as a person, trying not to start drinking again, trying not to go off the rails. Sometimes, and a lot of times, I just need time to myself. But just know that during those times that I do think of each and every one of people that I know and that I love, you can also be on the grid while off the grid, meaning I stalk people. No, I don't stalk anybody. But I do check on people. I mean, if you are somebody who's out here making accomplishments and doing your thing and living your life and doing great things, I mean, I'm gonna wanna see that. I wanna be a part of your life as you are low-key sometimes not really a part of mine. You know, and I understand that, you know, people do forget me, but you know what, you know, that's okay. As long as I have a very good memory, so I remember everybody and everything, and remember that when you try to fuck with me, okay? Okay. I mean, but yeah, and that is the end of the top 10 famously quoted sayings by the one, only, Candice Pritchard-Harmon. Yay! We cue in applause. But anyway, this was fun. There are going to be a couple of more videos to come in the near future, but until then, you know, all love, kindness is king, and love leads the way. Keep checking on me for updates about me and my life. Like I said, my social media, my Facebook is Candice Harmon. You can look me up as Candice Pritchard, and I'll probably show up as well. Instagram is at Candy_Pre-Harmon. Again, that's Candy_Pre-Harmon. I know it used to be at Sina_Stasia, but I mean, obviously I changed it, dumb bitch, so whatever. I don't have Snapchat anymore. I haven't had Snapchat for 2 years, so you can fuck out with all of that. I'm also on LinkedIn if you want to check for my new contact information. I am no longer in Europe, no longer in Belgium. I am indeed back in the States. So I do have a new phone number for friends who are wanting, you know, to talk or text or, you know, whatever. And if I do come back home and you're excited to see me, be excited, but don't touch me, okay? Don't touch me. But yes, so here's to another year. I would raise a glass of champagne, but you know, I can't drink, so it'll just have to be water or milk, because I love milk with cake. Cake is good. 23, I never thought that I would make it this far. I told my mother that the other day. You know, when you go through the things that I've been through, it really hits you when you realize that you've made it to another birthday. You could have been dead and gone, but you're still here, you're still breathing, you're still trucking it, you're still running. So I'm very proud of myself, and as I should be, because I know myself, I know who I am, I know that I am loved. I'm creating this new family, bringing life back, and that is something to be damned proud of. But before I go, I want to dedicate this video in loving memory of my grandfather, Anthony Dwayne Pritchard, who passed away last year, as well as my cousin, Tricia Pritchard, who also passed away last year. One of my biggest wishes in life was to always be able to reunite with my family at some point after getting out of foster care. And my cousin Tricia, I hadn't seen her 15 years prior to getting into foster care. And I had hoped to see her again, and it just wasn't in the cards, as well as for my grandfather, who I had never even met face to face before. But the one time that I did really get to talk to him, you could tell that, you know, he just was really proud of what he had heard about me. He was proud of his granddaughter, as he was proud of all of his grandchildren in some way, shape, or form. And I have that kind of faith that believes in the afterlife, and I know that some way, somehow, that both of them are watching me and that they love me very much. And though I will feel a part of my heart to be empty without them, I'm very grateful to, at some point, have been able to make contact and to know them as, you know, my family. And so, you know, yeah, things don't play out the way that, you know, we want them to, but all things happen, you know, for a reason, and God does not choose indiscriminately, and just like we don't choose to live our life indiscriminately. So, everything happens for a reason, and I'm grateful for the chance that I've had to be able to choose discriminately what I wanted to do with my life. Also want to dedicate this birthday segment to my family, both of my families as a whole, because I do have two families. As hard as it is having to deal with two families, I mean, it's a thing. It's my life. You don't get to have like the best of both worlds. You don't get to have two families. You don't get the chance to, you know, start over. So yeah, and I also just want to dedicate this last portion to my god sister Shelby. Hey Shells. Shelby is a former college roommate of mine, the best roommate I ever had. She's not perfect, but I love her anyway, and she knew that I wasn't perfect. She knows that I'm not perfect, and she loves me for who I am, and she's never judged me like anybody else has, and she's just an awesome, amazing person. She has her flaws, but we all do, and as well as myself. And you know, she's been there for me through the ins and the outs, and she knows when I need space. She knows when I don't, and it's always ironic when I call her, she always picks up, and you know, that's the best thing that you could ever have in a friend. And I'm about to get emotional and slap the shit out of myself because I don't like that, and my makeup is good as fuck, so I'm trying not to cry. But Shelby, yes, this is dedicated to you. I love you very much, and I'm gonna start all of my videos with dedications at the end of my videos. Dedicate them to people who have had some specific significance in my life. So if you never hear your name in these dedications, it's probably because you don't mean shit to me, and you didn't really do anything for me. But yeah, so happy birthday to me. I am 23. That's a rhyme. And yes, like I said, click on the link below for more information about Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child project for the Christmas season. We want to help some kids, and we want to make some changes, and we want to save the world, and we want to save the people. We want to get everybody back together through these trying times. So yeah, let's do that. Let's save the world. And while we're working on doing that, I'm gonna eat this cake and wait for my nephew to